Good morning. Good morning. Good
wait,
morning.
no, I'm supposed to say good morning,
Good morning.
first. That's terrible. This is not fair. She always is trying to jump the gun, guys. I just want to let everybody know it is Saturday morning. Welcome to Breakfast with the Brookses. This one right here, you would think, guys, listen, before I even introduce her, I'm not even introducing her yet, because she just rolled in fresh off of a sleep study, and she was dead to the world 2 hours ago telling me, I'm still groggy. And I'm like, you better get yourself together. We got work to do. We got folks to talk to. Now she wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. And this lovely young lady right here, the light-skinned one with red lipstick on, is
Cherie Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship, and life balance coach. And it is a pleasure to be with you today.
Such a pleasure. It's
overcast here in the Hampton Roads area, but we are going to have a great day this morning.
We are. And let me tell you why, babe. I'm super excited about today's show, because we're going to get a chance to interview. I think what, and you hear this term thrown around a lot, power couple, right? And I love that when we bring people on, I search high and low for legitimate, real people who I can stand flat-footed and know that they are doing something pretty amazing and that they have amazing value to add to the Breakfast with the Brookses community. For those of you all who don't know, we're going to bring them on in a second, but Cherie and I created an online relationship academy. It's called MAPS, Marriages and Parenting Successfully. Babe, you're a little bit close on me.
You don't want me close?
No, you too close. No, you touching me. She's touching me. She's teacher. Move over. Okay, so now I'm sorry about that little programming note, but at any rate, MAPS, Marriages and Parenting Successfully. We want to teach you guys how not to fight, actually. And what we like to do is invite you to be a part of that community. If you are a person who is married and you are a parent,
or you want to get married,
yes,
or you've been married and are trying to figure out what went wrong so that you don't repeat the same mistakes possibly the next time,
then what we want you to do is we really want you to go over to www.thecrcoach.com and check us out, because here's the truth, guys. My mom jumped in the room today. Hey, what's up, Pat Palmore? Good to see you, lady. Katina Reed jumped in the room. Good to see you guys. Listen, if you guys want to know more about what we do at MAPS, do me a favor, chime in thecrcoach.com, because what we really do is help people grow in the area of their skill sets.
Right. And we teach people how to learn how to communicate effectively, which is one of the essential keys in any relationship.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we go through life thinking that we know how to communicate, but the key is if the other person doesn't hear or doesn't understand what you're saying, you're not communicating effectively.
Absolutely.
So you can say it all day long.
Yeah.
But if they don't receive it,
yeah.
Communication is transmission and reception.
Yep.
And so we help people develop the skills to be able to transmit as well as to be able to receive the message being sent.
Absolutely. There's a huge difference between someone having heard you and then someone who received what you're saying. And you and I both know, guys, that when a person receives you, their behavior changes. When a person receives you, their attitude is different versus if they just heard you. So we want to encourage you to certainly jump on. We have 4 different coaching platforms. They're coaching rooms, group coaching environments.
Right. On Tuesday evenings, we meet with the couples
yep.
at 7 p.m. And then we also meet with parents at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday. Then every first and third Thursday, I meet with the ladies only. We have a ladies only room where we get together and we talk. And then on
Sundays, I get with the guys, specifically with the men at 7 p.m. every Sunday evening. And they're all separate group coaching environments. And guys, they're designed really to help you go to the next level in your relationship. So without further ado, we really want to bring on a legitimate power couple, some people that we have had the privilege, quite frankly, of working in their lives for the last year and a half. And really almost at the inception of MAPS, they've been a part of our community. So first of all, shout out to all the people who are jumping on. Y'all do me a favor and tag somebody, share this out. Katina Reed, good to see you. Tiana, shout out to MAPS. My mom, Pat Palmore, is in the room. Sidna, good to see you. Do me a favor, guys. Eric Jones Jr., what's the deal, bro? good to see you in the room. Do me a favor, guys, really quickly, before we get into today's teaching and today's talk. I really want you to share this out because every married couple who's going through adversity needs to hear this message.
And so that means every married couple.
And so like everyone, you know, so I want you to literally go and pull your phone up and be like, oh yeah, they married. Oh, they thinking about it. They right. Tripping. They definitely like, I need you to go tag them and shoot this over because guys, at the end of the day, I think that many of us, Cherie, we take for granted the wisdom that people have gone through and how if we could use it and make it work for us, it would absolutely benefit us. Right.
It's that whole I'm good. We got this.
We good.
We gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
We don't want nobody all in my business.
Right.
Don't nobody need to know what we going through. We got this.
And that's why people stay stuck.
Right. And the thing is, I like to challenge people. If what you've been doing is working, you wouldn't be having the challenges you're having. So if what you're doing isn't working, why not try something different?
Why
just
not
try
do that?
it.
Why not do that real quick while we talking about trying something different, guys? I know if y'all might notice we got our new shirts in marriages and parenting successfully. If y'all want to I'm really big today. So marriage and parenting successfully. The big I see you icon is right there. Y'all can order them.
That's our navigation sign.
Our navigation because they need to navigate in a relationship. Because they got problems. And
you just made that up.
And so do we. I just made that right up. I sure did. Y'all, for those of you all who are catching us or watching us live, you can always catch us by replay on our YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/The CR Coach. People always ask, well, what the CR stand for? What that really stand for? It stands for constant relationship because what we believe is that, I ain't messing with you because you pointing and stuff and don't nobody want to do all that. Stop it. See, I'm not sending you to sleep studies no more. Anyway, we got a guest today.
Okay,
be nice.
I gotta be on my
be
best
nice.
behavior
Be on your
today.
best behavior. Just ghetto. Okay. Anyway, so guys, listen really quickly. I want y'all to put together, you two put together a very warm Saturday morning welcome to a couple that we have watched grown. Quite honestly, they were on the brink of just dissolving the whole thing. And I'm going to just put it out there. They've told their story publicly and they were really there. And I thank God that we've had an opportunity to help. We're not the only ones to just pour into their lives. And now they are a beacon of light, not only to their families, but the greater community. We're going to talk about that. I'm talking about none other than our good friends, LaKita and Domenick Epps. What's going on, guys? How y'all feeling?
Morning. Great morning.
So Domenick, you suited and booted, bruh. Here's what people don't know. You are the people's agent. Domenick is a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads, serving all of Hampton Roads here in the 757. They call him the people's agent. And the truth of the matter is that I love it. I love it. I love it. See, he even got his name tag. They call him the people's agent, babe, because this brother is really about empowering people. And Domenick, I don't think people really understand how empowering it is when you own and when you are in a position of ownership and how it just opens up the door to so many other things because of that. We'll talk about that a little bit on the back end, but your lovely wife is here and she's got $1 million smile. Kita, what's up?
Morning, y'all.
You good?
Yes, I am.
Kita, look, one of your friends shouted me out on social media. I think it may have been Facebook, maybe Instagram, talking about, oh my God, I gotta text her right now, talking about, girl, you gonna be live. You know, I know that she was saying it like that because she spelled it in all caps with all kinds of stuff on the back. It's like, see, what y'all don't know is Kita don't mess with social media like that. So for many of you guys, this is a
rare appearance.
A rare appearance by look, Domenick is shut.
I don't even know how you pulled it off.
Hey, bro, call me the coach. They call me the coach, man. They call me the coach. Look. I know when to put the best players on the field so we can get this W, my friend. I know when to do that. So, guys, do me a favor really quickly. And I know we just having a good time. Good morning, Margaret. We really wanted to give people a chance to jump on. Karen, good to see you. Do me a favor. For those that don't know, if you can give us sort of the ESPN highlight version real quick, both of you, your quick story. You guys have been married for, I want you to tell them how long, how many children, and I want you to talk about a quick journey as to, where you were and where you are today. If either one of you can start.
Well, I think Queen should start. She was feeling me, so I think she should be.
Not the Mac Daddy of the Mac. I love it. I love it. Look, Queen, don't undress them in front of everybody. Don't do it. Don't.
Okay. I can say we met at church. We were friends at first. No relationship. We came to be friends. We did start a relationship. We dated for a while I was in college. Upon completion of college, we were engaged, got married not too long after. Right after marriage, we were pregnant. We had our first child.
We were pregnant.
Well, we were expecting a child.
You was pregnant too, Dominic. You
was pregnant. Bro, I promise you was.
Face, y'all. No.
Right.
Can I interject?
Yes, you can interject, brother. He feel the need to defend himself.
Got a watered down version. So we was in new members class. I just rededicated my life back to Christ. All right. We was in new members class, and she was sitting across from me, and she kept looking at me. Couldn't stop looking at me. I couldn't stop looking at her too. But the reality is that I was actually dating somebody. So I was in a relationship at the time. So I kept telling myself, I shouldn't be looking that I'm with somebody. I just got saved. I'm not about to be a player. So I approached her and asked her about, helping me coach softball, because I was coaching softball. So that's how our friendship started. We had about 60 kids in the hood that we would teach, coach softball, do Sunday schools with, do Bible studies with. It was basically our youth ministry. So we had just straight hood kids that we did youth ministry with. And so I tried to hide the fact that I had somebody, because I started catching fellas for her. So I didn't tell her I had a girlfriend. She ended up finding out. And
right.
Then, I ended that relationship, and that's how we officially got started.
So one of the things that I want to open up with, Cherie, and it's we're in the honeymoon stage. We over here grinning because it's similar to how Cherie and I met, just working in the lives of students and that whole piece. That's a whole nother background. But after the honeymoon, right, stuff started just kind of, and I won't even say spiraling out of control. That's one characterization. But I'm a bottom line it like this, Dominic. Life started happening.
Right.
Like life just began happening. And I think sometimes, Cherie,
the reality.
Yeah.
Reality
like,
started
back to life. No singing. Okay. But anyway, y'all started experiencing some reality, and adversity started hitting. And what I want y'all to do for the people who are viewing, a lot of people go through adversity, but not everybody wins in the middle of adversity.
Right.
Most people quit. There were times that you guys threw in the towel, sort of proverbially, if you will, and just, decided to quit. Talk to us a little bit about some of the pressures that began to crowd y'all. And then let's talk a little bit about how y'all were able to navigate through that.
We started off. All right. So first off, I was used to dating females that were nice. Never dated a P-Town girl before.
Y'all, if y'all ain't from Hampton Roads, y'all just don't understand.
I wasn't used to all them.
He wasn't used to
explain something to you, sir. Let me. That's what you're not gonna do.
So you wasn't used to Southeast even.
Right. Yeah, this one is from Southeast DC. Same thing. P-Town, Southeast DC. Same.
That smile fool you, man. So for me it was different. But I knew that it was God, and that God was working on me. And so that transitioning of finally with somebody that's gonna put their foot down and not just gonna say everything you want to hear when you want to hear it and do what you want to do was different. I never experienced that before. So of course that kind of, brought in some tension. And then, I'll let you transition from there.
Okay. Then also, I can say, as a female, we were younger when we did get married. A nugget piece of advice when you're going into that, he had a vision from the beginning, but I didn't have mine together. So when you have someone who has a vision, who knows what they want, who's going to go after it, and you just don't, it may feel like you're either being left behind or you can't see if you're not on the same level, you future-wise. So I can admit that was a struggle, adapting and following a vision that was presented, because sometimes everybody don't have that vision at such a young age. And I don't think I was ready yet, to be honest. Right after we got married, our first pregnancy resulted in a preterm delivery. So that was an adjustment, being young parents, but losing the child at the same time, how to navigate with that. So we took people in, stay with us, go here, go, not to say to replace that void, but we did bring a lot of people on the ride with us early on in the relationship.
I brought a lot of people on.
She was like, keep them jokers out. Can they stay on the porch? Is that what you
Yeah, you ain't had nowhere to stay. You can sleep on the floor, on the couch. But not realizing that, how that worked. But it actually worked out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. She was okay with it. She went alongside with it, and it ended up being good. But looking back on it, we should have took those first years of marriage, just building our relationship instead of trying to, in so many words, build a family without even having our own children. So
Right.
Let me jump in right there, Cherie. One of the things that I wanted to ask them is, what their biggest challenge in marriage was. And I think I just kind of heard you guys inadvertently answer that. Babe, we've come down that same road, and where, we got together, I kind of was already moving in a direction that I felt like I was supposed to be moving career-wise and all of that sort of stuff. And I remember, you having, a child, and he was a single parent for years. You'd been married before. How difficult is it when you see and you connect with somebody who is on a page, and to get included or get noticed, if you will, because quite frankly, you almost have to scream for your attention in your place. Would that be accurate, Keita? Would you say it's almost like, wait a minute, you leaving me back here? Like, what about us? And what about, and I believe in your vision. I want you to do that. But like, what about us?
Yeah. And we went through the same thing when we got married. You were in one career, and then you had the vision. You went into ministry full time, which was something entirely different. Number one, I did not grow up in traditional church. I grew up Catholic. So I was a newborn believer. So I didn't understand that culture.
Right.
And so when you went to go into ministry full time, took you in a very different direction. And because you were more spiritually mature than me, there were seasons where I felt left behind because you were off on the battlefield doing God's work, and I'm home, kind of trying to maintain the house. And there were seasons where I felt like I was left behind. But the thing I know for us, and there were times when I really, really felt left behind, that it was really rough. But then I got to the point that the more I spoke up and was able to let you know, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is where I am. And also in that, finding my own place, finding where I did fit in, helped for me in that area. How was that for you guys when you went through that transition, Keita, as far as being able to, how did you not get to the point where you didn't feel left behind?
If I can honestly answer that, I'm still learning that route.
Okay.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
I feel like I have made progress, and then there's other days where I feel like maybe I ain't got this all together.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that portion of myself is still growing.
Okay.
You know what? It's funny, and Dom, I want you to speak to this a little bit, but oftentimes, and I know when I met you guys, life had put a whooping on y'all pretty good, and you guys were hurting. We did a workshop at y'all's local church. Shout out to CCC and Covenant, just a great group of people over in Suffolk, and Pastor Harold and Pastor Brenda. You guys, they're just amazing people. And I remember in that workshop, you just continually asking questions over and over again. I think, you know how like you in class and there'd be that one person asking like all the questions between you and maybe Ellison or something. It was like, is there anybody else in the room?
Why he keep
and what
raising his
I
hand?
realized, Domenick, you were literally on a quest. And what I didn't know at the time is you were hurting.
Right.
You were in a jam, and you were in a place where my wife doesn't get it. And I don't get that she don't get it in a sense. And I don't know how to get her to get it. What are some of the things that you've learned? Because there are a lot of husbands, there are a lot of men who are listening and will hear this. Quite honestly, they got dreams, they got goals, they got visions. They're entrepreneurs. Maybe they're doing what it is that they need to do, but they're leaving their family instead of leading their family.
Right.
And today I can honestly say that you are leading your family. You're no longer leaving them. And I, I'm super proud of your growth. But at what point does that begin to turn where you begin to go back and say, okay, let me slow down? And how were you able to get to that place?
Well, that's self-accountability. That's community. And honestly, I don't even know what made us go to the workshop.
Because it was free.
I ain't mad at you, Key. The kid said, I'm going to just keep it all the way 100.
Free.
That junk was free.
I think during that time, like, we were great actors. So I think we had signs and papers. Like we lived. And we doing that? Yeah. Like we had people didn't know this, so but we had signed like separation papers that already met with our pastors. Like we was like, cool.
I was done.
Yeah. So I don't even know what made us. I mean, I know it was free. We weren't gonna pay if we. We done.
I'm gonna need y'all stop saying that free part, because sometimes we charge for them workshops and people. I'm gonna need y'all stop saying that part.
Why I say that though, because we had 4 years, 5 years, 6 years of counseling, it seemed like it wasn't working.
Right.
And then once we went to the workshop, like I think they intentionally set us up front, because we would have been in the back chilling, just
right.
That grub.
Right.
But what really opened my eyes was when you all first opened, because most of the people, when you sit down and you do counseling sessions with, you think that they have everything right just by their persona and how they go off and share their story. So it's kind of hard to find somebody that can relate to your issue that you want to be transparent with. So when you all first came on the scene, like y'all just was like, bam, here's our mess. I was like, yo, like,
they put it all the way out there.
Like, and you all, I remember the line you said that, you all know how to do it wrong or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you all are, working on doing it right. So that was just like, oh man, now I can throw my hand up and ask the real questions I want to ask. And so that formed community. And of course, Glenn, when we had our one-on-one,
yeah,
you was literally the first one to, you didn't even know me, and you just kind of laid it on me, like, yo, who this dude, man? Like, jab to the face, like, but I needed that, because for so long people would, I don't know if it was because of the giftings and because of, just the workload, but people were kind of being sensitive.
Yeah.
And, being very careful in what they said.
Yeah.
Totally understood that. But for you not knowing me, you just gave it to me straight, and it made me look at myself. So
I appreciate that. Real quick, for those of you all who are just jumping in, shout out to Shakima, who just jumped in, and Renee and Joseph and Alicia. Hey, Lizanne, thank you guys for jumping in. Y'all do me a favor and share this out. We're talking to Domenick and LaKita Epps. We're talking about making marriage work in adversity. They are members of our MAPS community, Marriages and Parenting Successfully. And I love the opportunities that we get to put y'all on Front Street because of the work that you you putting in. And you talked a little bit about, meeting us and coming in contact with us. And I think that one thing, Cherie, that people don't understand is that we need each other. God did not create us to be independent. He didn't create us to be dependent. He didn't create us to be codependent, but he created us to be interdependent. And that means that when we come together and we lock up and we create tribes and communities around our situation. And that's why people go off and they think, well, I already got a community. It's called my family, or it's called my church. And they are a community of sorts. But when you got a specific issue that you need to navigate through, you need a tribe that specifically speaks to that, because I think it's in the confines of community that sustainable growth is achieved.
Right. And a lot of times, like Glenn, you'll say that, community's not your church, community's not your family. What he means by that when he says is that you go to church for spiritual growth. You go to your family for fellowship. You're not going to that community to get issues with your marriage dealt with. It's no different than if I'm an alcoholic, my going to church per se is not going to help me deal with my alcoholism. I need to go to AA because that focuses on that. And I think that a lot of times, especially just in our culture, just that whole mindset, what happens in this house stays in this house. We rely on sharing with our friends and families, but they're not necessarily equipped.
I think that's the word.
To deal with the issues. Number one, because a lot of times they're personally attached to you. They can't be objective.
Yeah.
And I think when you connect with a community with people that can be objective, but that can be transparent. And I think that is very key. And I appreciate you saying that, Domenick, that, it was our transparency that made you say, hey, it's something different about these guys. The thing that we learned very early on was that fake don't work for us.
Yeah, it don't.
I don't need to look at other people's lives and, they got this image that everything is perfect. Because number one, because I've been married, this is my third marriage. I know that ain't.
It ain't all true. What you see. What you see ain't all what it is.
What you see ain't true.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying they in there killing each other, but every marriage has challenges.
Absolutely. Every
marriage. I don't care how perfect. Because people will look at us and say, oh, y'all relationship is so perfect. No.
Wrong.
We have challenges.
Absolutely.
We have our challenges,
Absolutely.
But we've learned how to work through them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. Most people don't learn the tools to be able to work through them.
Absolutely.
And so when stuff happens, it's that fight or flight. Either we're going to fight each other.
Yep. Or we're going to flight.
It's going to flight. We're going to just dip.
We're going to roll up.
I'm
gone. I'm done with you. I ain't heard dip in a minute, shorty. That's that Southeast coming out. That's that Southeast. I'm telling Southeast DC is in the building. I just want to let y'all know real quick, guys. And I know y'all got stuff to do and I want to let y'all out of here, but I really want to know if y'all had to do it over again. Let's say, for instance, you guys got engaged today, like you got married today. Knowing what you know now, you don't have children together. You have no history together, but knowing what you know now, what would you do differently moving forward, and why? Bruh, he opens up with a laugh.
But one, I would have learned to invest in myself. I would have, learned, read up more. Everyone don't know of communities like this, but they are available to take advantage. Because it is a journey, it is a ride, and in order to share yourself, with the spouse, you need to know who you're sharing. Because
Kita, you got to say that again, Kita. Kita, I'm almost choking on my coffee. You got to say that again. In order to share yourself with your spouse, you have to do what again?
Know who you're sharing.
Please say that one more time.
I'm saying that because I'm still learning, but it's after the honeymoon stage. It's after the kids. It's after career changes. It's after you almost lose this. It's after there is no car. If that would have been, I feel like if I would have knew who I was prior to, a lot of the heartache, the pain, the tension, not that we would have bypassed it, but we wouldn't have to stay there so long.
Ooh, right. Girl, that's good. She dropping gems all over the place up in here, Domenick. See, that's why she doesn't come on Facebook and whatnot very often. Because when she do, I'm trying to tell you, we better watch out. Domenick, what would you say to that, man? Speak to that. What would you do differently today and why?
The differently, I would have, made sure I had myself had stability. Because when I proposed, I ain't had nothing. I didn't have no house, no car. I ain't had no job. But I had faith. But that faith without works is dead piece is very important. And so I think differently, I would have made sure that, I had the foundation laid and set so that I could take on a wife, not take on someone that, who, was willing to go through the struggle. I think, that foundation, if it would have been laid, some of the stuff we could have avoided just by, having some things already in place.
Man, I love that because, and Reed, one of the things that people don't understand now, we're almost 20 years old together, but we have more than 30 years in experience wise in terms of our former relationships. That foundation piece is critical. Mm-hmm. When you say what you just said, Domenick, I think to myself, the question is, which is the easier work? To build me up as an individual and to get my foundation straight, or to do that with an entire family?
Right.
If I have no direction personally, which would be easier for me to obtain direction, get a vision, get some education around that vision, learn how to pull it off, put some work in, start working on establishing and pulling that vision off, and then executing on that, or do all of them steps with an entire family, if I had the choice to do it. And so obviously everybody doesn't have it to choose like that. But if you had it to do it different, I hear you loud and clear, brother, that you would just literally, both of you guys have said it in different ways, but work on you. Like, if you're not married and you guys are listening to this, do me a favor, pump the brakes and work on you and get you right and get the confirmation from others. Now you good. You doing that. No, you really are doing that. And then at this particular point, when you go to build on that, you have something solid to build on. It is much harder to do it than in the reverse, babe.
Right. And the only disclaimer I want to say with that, because I'm hearing people in the audience hearing this and that, are like, okay, so we got to wait until I'm making this amount of money or till I'm this. That's not what we're saying.
No,
we're saying that you have a foundation that you don't. I don't think it is feasible, especially, okay, and I'll talk from the man's perspective because Domenick talked about from a man. Okay, and this is something we used to tell my son when he started dating. I was like, okay, number one, what is the purpose in dating? The whole purpose in dating is that you're dating because you're searching for a wife. Eventually, that's why you're dating. You're not just dating to date. So, are you prepared to marry somebody? And he'd be like, huh? I'm like, okay, so you don't have a job, so. You prepared. So you at least need to have a job so that you could provide.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you got to be making six figures.
Right.
But you got to have some form of stability. It doesn't have to be the where you're looking to go.
Exactly.
But I think that's not just materially. I think that's also spiritually.
Yeah.
It's emotionally. You need to have your own foundation and have something that you're growing from. And we're not saying that you have to have arrived.
Right. Absolutely.
Before now we can say we get married. Because I've had couples, they've come to us like, well, we're not ready. I'm like, okay, you make 60, he make 80. What are y'all waiting? What do you mean financially?
Like,
you're
right,
not?
Like you make,
no, we need to.
Right. Or even if you make 20 and he make 30, like, what are you waiting on?
Right,
here's the point. Here's what I heard you say. And Domenick, you said it. And I'm going to put it back. And I want you to talk a little bit about what you do for a living back in building terms. Here's the truth. We're talking about having a firm foundation. We're not talking about having a firm building.
Right.
Those are two different things.
Right.
So with the right foundation, you can build the house.
Right. And you want to build that together.
You absolutely. But with the wrong foundation, you can still build a house. But bruh, depending on how big and purty that thing get, the likelihood of it falling is going to increase by every block you add to it because the foundation is faulty. Domenick, talk to us a little bit about what you guys are doing in the community. Y'all's relationship has served in a lot of ways to bring people together. And you guys are able to, with what it is that you do for a living, talk to us a little bit about how you're able to help people firm up their foundation in a lot of ways.
Well, occupationally, of course, through real estate education. is breathing life into families, and just letting people know that it's not based on what is now, but what you desire. And so it's really about building people's faith tank to know that it's possible, and to know from where I came from, where we came from, to what God is doing. It really started with just speaking it and just believing it. And now the education piece and just teaching people and holding their hand through the process. That's really what we're doing. And yeah, that's the main thing.
I love it. I love it. If you guys are in the Hampton Roads area and you are looking for a real estate agent, I'm just going to put it on out there. Y'all need to hit up my man, DomenickEpps.com. It's his name. It's simple. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You can go ahead and screenshot that because they're doing more than helping people buy homes. They're helping people buy their lives. And it's an education process. It's not just about you. It's about your family. It's about your legacy. It's about who you're connected to. It's about establishing wealth, not only for you, but again, your community. And I just need you guys to understand that these are some sweet people. We love them. A couple of people jumping in the room. Everett, good to see you, my friend. Peace and blessings to you, sir. Eric Jones Jr. said something that I think is absolutely critical. He said, foundation is the key to the long game. In golf, there's a term, and Dominic, you play, or like me, you play at it, I'm sure. But in golf, there are two different kinds of games. There's a short game and there's a long game. The short game is anything around the greens, around where you're trying to putt the ball into the hole. The long game is off the tee. And here's what I promise you. If your foundation, if your stance is not right, if your swing is not right, if you don't have the right club in your hand, you'll never make it to be able to play the short game because your long game is off. And I think in relationships, so many of us guys are playing the long game backwards. We don't have any foundation when it comes to our long game. And as a result of that, guys, what happens is we wind up faltering. We in golf, you slice it or you hook it. And those are terms that means you ain't hitting it straight. That's all that means. And you're not going to get there anytime soon. So if you guys want to grow and you want to build your foundation, we certainly would love to invite you guys to be a part of our MAPS Relationship Academy. Please come grow with us. If you want to get just a free sit down with either Cherie or myself or both of us, go to thecrcoach.com. Click on, I think it may say something like a free assessment or something like that, and grab 30 minutes with us and let's talk about your situation. Let's chop it up. Let's see if we can help you. Because I tell people all the time, I can't help everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. We're not for everyone. But what we can do is help you get help. And send you to the people who need to be helped. I believe in therapy. I believe in counseling. I believe in coaching. They all serve different purposes. And I promise you, in this lane, we are winning. And so if you want to hook up with us, it don't matter where you are in the world. We do everything online. It's a private coaching room that we bring you into. And we have a good time and we're able to chop it up. Any closing remarks, any things you guys want to share with people before we rock out of here? Maybe in the line of biggest lessons learned, maybe a wisdom nugget, something you can drop for somebody else?
Me? I'll just say one thing that I've learned and I'm still learning to walk out is be flexible. When I met Dominick, he had I don't know if it was a spiral notebook or a composition, but on the page of all the things he wanted to accomplish, there were multiple columns. And in 9 short years of marriage, he's touched a lot of those things, whether it was short term, whether it was for a season, or whether he's still a part of it. Just be flexible for the journey. Everybody ain't out to get you. I'm learning that.
I'm waking up talking about I'm gonna sabotage. That's my job.
Some people, really do genuinely want to see you win, and they're not after you when they offer advice or give you some information. So I would just say, really be flexible. And one thing I can work on, and I can help everybody, is just build the husbands up along the way.
Yes.
And if they've communicated their goals and their visions. So that's to myself too, but really build them up, encourage them. And it's
Love
okay
it.
to say thank you sometimes.
I know that. Just sometimes. I know that's right. I'm just every now and then. Just every sometimes.
The presence of the Lord has
Lord have mercy. Lord. Right. I love it. Domenick, any closing remarks?
Just know that your spouse is not your enemy.
Yes.
All right. And a lot of times, we think that because as husbands, because they don't jump on board right away, we think that they're against it. But I know, for my wife, is that a lot of times she's just watching because she gets to see things that I don't see because I'm ready to jump head first into a project or into something. And she'll look at the big picture and see how it affects the whole family. And, and so I'm long-term. I'm looking at how this is going to help us 10 years from now, 15 years from now. But, wiping out the bank account to do a 10-year investment is not good for right now.
Bro,
So,
can you say that part again, please? Can you help my brothers out? Say that one more time.
So, wiping out the full bank account for a 10-year investment may not be the good thing to do right now. And so communication is key. And I know you all put it in our brain that communication is a skill set. It's something that we have to be taught because we just don't know how to communicate properly starting out. And so it's great. I'm telling you, it's important to get you a coach, even if you think you are at, the top of your relationship and things are great. You're gonna need somebody to take you even further. So, we don't tell you all this enough, but we really appreciate, just you all coming into our lives and being able to help us go to the next level.
Love it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to watch you guys grow, to see the transformation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so proud of you guys, just seeing you guys do the work and, just being able to witness it, to play just a small part in that, it means the world to us.
Yeah. I, as a coach, I don't think there's any other reward than winning. More, it ain't, and even when you look in sports, it ain't the money, it's not the prestige, it's not the power. It's every coach wants to win, and there's no greater feeling than when your teammates get a chance to cut down them nets and win a chip. And I'm watching you guys consistently win, and I just want you guys to know that we're always for you guys. For those of you all who are just jumping in, know that we invite you to certainly come grow with us at the crcoach.com. And I know that's right, Linda Lee. Everyone needs a coach. I know that's right. I think Oprah has 3 coaches. It's like
if I can say one thing.
Go ahead.
There's one line you said to me, man, I won't forget. You said you can win the world but lose your family. And that right there was, that was a powerful statement. Because sometimes we can be so focused on trying to be successful financially and, in the community. And it's like you can win the world, but you can lose your family.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely, man. I know what that life is like. I no longer want to be a public success and a private failure. That's not who I am today, but it used to be. And I think the thought of that and going back to that scares me to death. And it's what keeps me fighting to win, in my private life. And that's why I too have a coach. So I'm not immune, and I pay him every month. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to tell you it works because at the end of the day, most elite athletes and performers on any level has somebody. It don't have to be us, but I promise you, you need somebody, because at the end of the day, I honestly believe that you can't get to where you want to be, not any place of significance, by yourself. And we want to close out, guys, by just simply saying, listen, have an incredible day today. Next week, make sure you guys tune in 8 a.m. If you are just catching us, maybe you're just jumping on, you can catch this replay over on YouTube. We'll have that up probably before the day is out, and we'll make sure you get that. But at the end of the day, we like to leave off by saying hashtag. We all need some help. Love you guys. Y'all have a great Saturday. Thank you so much for saying yes. And Kita, I am humbled. Next time dinner
Thank you for the
is
special
on
appearance.
me. You know, dinner is on me next. You know what I mean? So we're going to head him over to the house. I'm gonna have to cook my special French toast for dinner because I promise you right now, you ain't never had that until I do it. So look, y'all be good. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.